But I
He gets called an Uncle Tom, which the definition for Uncle Tom is successful, intelligent black person, but we'll keep it moving. They call him an Uncle Tom, a sellout, a coon. They call him all these disparaging names, and not once did they say, well, why haven't the Democrats proposed their version of a platinum plan? You cannot make this stuff up. So many people are brainwashed to carry water for the donkey party, and I'm going to call them out and expose it. I will go up to one of these mountaintops and shout it. The Democrat Party is garbage, and people are walking away from it. You can deny it all you want. You can play mental gymnastics. No, it's Trump, it's this, it's that. Whatever. Show me proof. Show me evidence of people leaving this Republican Party going to the Democrat Party. Really, it's not even about the two-party system. People are breaking free from those brain chains that have been enslaved. They've been enslaved for so long. And with Diddy, with this party, he's like, we need our own black party. Well, a lot of people that are on the board of his little political party are just Democrats. So basically, you just want to put horrible policy in blackface. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. Let's be real about it. P. Diddy wants an all-black Democrat party. There's nothing unique. There's nothing nuanced. There's no diversity. There's no intellectual diversity. It's just we need an all-black Democrat party. And the first thing he did when he launched this new political party, endorsed Joe Biden. You cannot make this stuff up. These people are categorically insane. It just makes no sense. What are your thoughts, Brian?
Well, I'm thinking, I could imagine being a campaign advisor for the Biden-Harris ticket. I mean, where's your message? We hate Trump, and so do you. So join us. There's no agenda. There's no plan. There's no economic plan. There's a health care plan. It's health care for all. I don't know how they're going to pay for it, for the Obamacare. Look, it's broken. Donald Trump has the best plan to get America back on track and to get it greater than before. And there's no better time than now to do it. So I've said this before. Please do not look at the polls. If you remember back in 2016, I remember sitting back watching the election and then holding out for the next state to release the results. And we're just too close to call. We just can't call it yet. And then
So it's funny you say that because when I was in school, do you know what I remember? I remember a big American flag in the classroom. I remember the Pledge of Allegiance. And I remember we said one nation under God. I remember all those things. I don't know how I dodged the bullet of indoctrination. I mean, just call me Matrix Mike, I guess. I'm just dodging bullets. I don't know because I went to college too. I had great parents.
There you go.
Yep.
So that's the key.
Yep. And that's what happened is with the left, it's no longer just the Democrat Party. They've been hijacked, co-opted by Marxists and totalitarians. And that's why they've removed God from our institutions. You notice school shootings happen after we took God out of schools. I'm not saying correlation equals causation. I'm just saying that's what happened. There's also so many other things. They've attacked every institutional pillar that makes American society whole. These people are wicked. It's absolutely wicked for you to promote the indoctrination of children. They swung the Overton window so far left. Oh no, you can pick your gender. Let's teach kids sex positions. Weird, creepy, satanic, dark stuff. We're calling it out. We're exposing it. There's so much violence in our society. There's so much hate. We need love. Love is the most powerful vibrational frequency in the entire universe, in the entire world. Love always wins. The truth wins. The light wins. But the left has waged war on it. War on truth. War on freedom. War on your health. They promote all these pills. They promote an unhealthy diet. Here's an idea. How do you explain this, okay? The Democrat governor of the state of Nevada says when you're inside of these casinos, you need to have a mask on, even if you're drinking water. Take the mask off, take a sip of your water, and put the mask back on. That same governor is okay with people smoking cigars and cigarettes inside. You can't make this stuff up. Don't talk to me about health. They don't care about your health. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about your freedom, which you were born with. Freedom is your birthright. They've swung the Overton window so far left. They want police. They don't care about law and order. They don't care about the family unit, which is the biggest, most important building block in life. It's not just in the human.
Hey, what's up, everyone? How's it going? Let me know in the chat how you're doing. Make sure you guys hit that like button. The more likes that we can get in a short period of time, the more people we'll bring into the chat to be able to hang out with us and, watch what's going on. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you'll be notified every time we go live. We go live every day, sometimes more than once a day. We're always covering something going on that's happening across the country. So make sure you subscribe. For anyone who would like to donate, there is a super chat button located in the chat menu where you can join the membership program, or you could donate if you would like to. I also have Cash App and PayPal links in the description. I also have some other information in the description if you would like to check that out. Thank you guys for being here. Just like yesterday when we did the Trump rally, I'm not going to try and speak over the president. I'm not going to try and interrupt the president. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking once the president starts speaking. I do have a banner. You're probably going to see the banner. I want everyone to be able to remember to like and subscribe. I put a lot of work into the channel. I really appreciate all you guys showing up and hanging out and being really cool. I've met a lot of really cool people through this. So I'm not going to try and talk over it, but I do want you guys to remember to like and subscribe. So thank you guys for being here. You guys are all awesome.
Because God forbid you start thinking of yourself as an individual with liberties, you start thinking of yourself as a sovereign individual, you'll start to push back against the state. And there's no bigger threat to the power structure than a sovereign, free-thinking, independent person.
And that's why they want the churches closed. And you said that to your point. And in California, there's pastors that have $250,000 plus fines for opening up their church. The church and Dr. Greg Locke, he has a church in Thousand Oaks. They've been open, but he keeps getting fines. But that's what you got to do. So I encourage everybody, if your church is not open, beg your pastor, please open this church. The time to have a wokeness on the church, now is not the time for the wokeness in the church. And that's a whole nother broadcast we can have. But I think as evangelical Christians, you've got to get out and make a statement, because this country literally is on the verge of going one direction or the other. And we can all, as we all, as proud Americans, definitely want to go in the right direction.
Absolutely. Well stated, man. Like, Joe Biden is a weak sellout puppet for far left ideology. is the puppet master. He is basically a ventriloquist dummy at this point. He says what they tell him to say. Same with Kamala Harris. She's a sneak. She's a sneak. If she gets power, oh my goodness, watch out.
Real quick, let me talk about the pro-life movement. I was at a convention not too long ago, and Charlie Kirk talked about this, that Donald Trump is the first president since, I want to say Reagan, that has actually come out and say the March for Life and pro-life. Every other president has kind of stirred around it, and that is both the Bushes, that is Obama, that is Clinton, that is everyone that precedes Trump. He is the most pro-life president that we've ever had. And so if that is a big hot point for you, and you're a big pro-life advocate, then there's absolutely no.
Hey, thank you so much for joining the membership program. Yeah, guys, I know that the volume's kind of weird right now. I know it's kind of hard to hear what they're saying, but they're playing commercial music. They play a lot of commercial music during these rallies. Usually I have to mute the video, and all you hear is the beat until the president starts speaking. So I'm trying to give you a little bit to listen to here besides the beat, but I can't turn it all the way up because there's commercial music. They'll flag the video get taken down. Sometimes they take it down before we're even done going live. So that's why it's like that. I'll fix the volume once the president starts speaking, so don't worry about that.
Independent media that's getting the truth out there as we show the crowd, we interview people, we show President Trump's speech in its entirety, start to finish, no interruptions, no bias, no spin, none of that. We show the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem. You get the full-blown experiences if you're here with us. We are almost entirely viewer supported, viewer funded. Please go to rspnetwork.com/donate to support our work. Send us to these next rallies. President Trump is on a campaign rally blitz. Tomorrow he's going to be in Prescott,
How's all my hooligans doing? Let me know in the chat. How's all my hooligans?
Carolina. Then he might go to Florida next. He's going all over the country because we have 16 days to re-elect this president. 16 days. So if you care about the truth, if you care about winning, if you really want to see this country prosper into the future and make it the beacon of hope that it has been for decades, where people want to cross oceans to come here, then you need to support independent media. It's expensive to pay for flights, hotels, rental cars, all the things. Go to rspnetwork.com/donate. There's another way you can support us. You can support us via Super Chat. I'm about to read the Super Chat donations. You can go to rspnetwork.com/donate. You can do it via Super Chat, or you can send a check to our physical address, 1550 Opelika Road, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. I am your host, Mike Magnificent. I have a YouTube channel if you want to hear my commentary. I go on rants from time to time. I got some spicy opinions. I have some takes. Search Mike Magnificent on YouTube. Find me on Twitter, MikeMagnificent813. I'm on all social media. Every time I plug my Parler, I get 100 followers. Yes, I'm on Parler. Find me on Parler. Find me on BitChute. Find me on, where am I at? Instagram. Just search Mike Magnificent. MikeMagnificent813. I'm everywhere on social media. You can just Google me. I should pop right up. And Lilith, go ahead and plug your social media.
This is how magnificent this man is. Seriously. It must be, I don't know, maybe it's the hat? I don't know.
I think it's probably the hat. People love this hat. I got 3 hats, red, white, and blue. And the white one, it pops in the sun.
Yeah, it does. They love it. I just want to read just a few of our super chats for you, and then I want to talk about cancel culture. Shoot! All right, here we go. Some super chats. Donovan Zayshan, peace for Armenia. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you for your prayers for Armenia. We definitely need that at that time. Christina, thank you so much for your super chat.
Hey, what's up, everyone that just got here? Make sure you guys hit that like button.
Going down. Thank you, Jerry. And yeah, I think he's going down too. Let's see. We have got some super chats from Chad. Chad, thank you so much for your super chat. Lolo Patriot, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. RSB Heart, thank you so much for your super chat as well. Richard Brown. Wow, they are popping. Daniel, just helping with independent media. God bless you, MAGA. You guys make MAGA
something that in the Obama administration that he did, I was immediately told to take that down, that we did not criticize the president. Now fast forward into today's media culture, and it's
It's a fact. Donald Trump is our president. He has been.
Yeah, he has been our president. And now it seems like you don't fit into the media unless you hate Donald Trump. And it seems like every show, they may show you a crowd shot, they may show you a couple of protesters, even though I don't really see that today. But you've just got to be very careful where you get your information from, because it is all skewed. And as far as Hollywood is concerned, we have seen so many people in Hollywood walk away from the narrative of the liberal agenda, and the ones that do walk away that maybe have financial gains to them, like the Mel Gibson, some others, they have the money to go do projects on their own.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the cancel culture has gotten to the point now where I don't think it's even working anymore. I mean, they're canceling people left and right. Here's my message for you. You can't finish us. You can cancel us, but I'm still voting for Trump. You can try to get rid of us. You can key our cars. You can take our yard signs down. You can try to silence us. You can try to counter protest us. You can do anything you want. You're creating more Trump supporters, so thank you so much.
Well, even with corporate America, you'll see businesses come out and support Trump, and all of a sudden you see the radical left want to cancel their company, cancel their product, and then the exact opposite actually happens. We'll give Chick-fil-A as a great example. Years ago, they made a stance on marriage, and of course the left went crazy because they didn't acknowledge their viewpoint. Well, there was a big ban for Chick-fil-A, and of course when you ban something, the right and conservatives always rise up and support those brands, and we've seen that with Goya, the latest food company. That guy had record profits this last quarter thanks to the radical left who wanted to yeah.
And anytime somebody gets canceled, I mean, this happened in your case, we are actually able to help that person with their canceled experience. So when people get canceled, I mean, that spreads like wildfire. There are GoFundMes that start popping up. People are like, hey, hit me up. I work at this place. I can get you a job here. Or, oh, that school canceled you. You can come work at my school. So our message to people who are in the cancel culture situation, who are trying to cancel others, you're only creating more Trump supporters. And those that have been affected by cancel culture, don't let it stop you. Because you know what, honey, at the end of the day, we're still voting for Trump. At the end of the day, we still love America. At the end of the day, we still love our law enforcement officers. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can't break us. You can't stop us. We are unstoppable like President Trump.
Yeah, and we got the music pumping here. It's almost like a dance party if you've never been to a Trump rally. It is pretty much like a party with a political vision. The vision is America. The vision is to make America great again and keep it great again. That's what we're doing here. How many people would you say is here right now? If you just would to eyeball that.
I don't know. I really don't know. It's a lot more than we think because of the overflow in the back.
Yeah, it's a lot more. There's obviously people behind us that you may not be able to see right now. This, of course, with COVID pushing into regional airports, it's actually nice. Every rally I've been, you've been enclosed into a gigantic arena. This actually, it's nice. The beautiful weather, the sun's out, the wind's blowing, and we cannot wait for President Trump to come in. The runway is right behind us, and hopefully we'll get a picture of that. We've got some helicopters flying around right now, which I can only imagine might be a security force as well. Hey, we want to know where you're watching us from, so always comment down below, tag your city, tag a friend, and say, hey, I just came across this Right Side Broadcasting.
Hey, what's up, everyone? If you just got here, make sure you hit that like button. The more likes that we can get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to hang out with us. Please take a second to subscribe, hit that bell icon so you'll be notified every time we go live. We go live every single day. Yeah, let me hear where you guys are from. If you're from Michigan, put the thumbs up in the chat. If you're not from Michigan, let me know where you're from.
TV on all fronts on social media. Brian Glenn TV. That's two N's in Glenn on TV. Find me, I'll follow you back. But I've had friends message me and say, wow, if there was ever an element that you're in, it's now. A Trump rally. It's 2020. We got 16 days left. You were the final jury in all of this, the viewers, the voters. Go to the booth, vote for Donald Trump on November 3rd.
And also let us
first rally I was at was years ago in Dallas at the American Airlines Center. I call Dallas home right now. And it was incredible. An arena full of people. And then I went to Tulsa after that just a couple months ago. And so I like the vibe of this one because it's outside. It just seems like it's more of a party. I don't know. I'm a little biased when it comes to the music and being outside. But like she said, we want to know where you're watching us from.
Wow, there's a little bit of everyone here. Well, like a lot of you know, I live in West Michigan, not too far from Grand Rapids. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Y'all are awesome.
These broadcasts, but we need you, the person sitting at home right now in your backyard, on your couch, maybe by the pool right now. You know what? You can simply go online and donate. And your donate, no matter how big or small, makes a huge difference at the end of the day. It allows us to keep going on these tours and keep bringing you the coverage that we think you deserve to see. And as we come, we got 16 days left. I heard at one point that Trump was going to do perhaps the final week was going to do up to five rallies a day.
Do you think?
I don't have the energy. I'm 51 and I don't have the energy for 2 rallies a day.
Not at all. This man is unstoppable. Literally, he sleeps like 3-4 hours
He
a day.
does.
But what do you think? Do you think we're going to have an in-person presidential debate this coming week?
I don't think we're going to have it. I really don't. I think Trump was very, very wise to quickly denounce the virtual. I don't want a Zoom link. I take you and your Zoom link and y'all go on down the road. I want an in-person debate. I don't think we're going to have that though. And even to be honest with you, I don't think we need it. It's events like this is what gets voters.
You're not going to run this country virtually, Joe Biden. So get out of your bunker, get out of bed, and come have a real in-person debate with President Trump. You will be intimidated. You will be unprepared, but you got to do the right thing because that shows a message to the American people that he can't even have a debate in person. How are you going to run the country?
Talk about Mike Pence real quick.
For sure. Let's see if there's a speaker coming up. All right, go for it.
Let's talk about Mike Pence real quick. The vice president debate was off the hook.
Off the hook.
I mean to tell you, going into it, I wasn't quite sure. Now I know Mike, our vice president, is a very sharp debater. He's a very smart gentleman. He had his own. He used to be in radio, so I know that he can film. He's a well-spoken gentleman. But the way he handled himself just came over brilliantly, and the way Kamala came across. Oh, I'll let you speak about that.
Kamala Harris is the reason why so many people, I don't know how to say this. It's people like Kamala Harris that a lot of people don't trust women in
Okay,
politics.
I'm so glad that you said that. I wasn't gonna
Because if we're gonna do the whole as a so-and-so in America, as a woman in America, Kamala Harris, it poorly represents women. Seriously, all she could do was, I'm talking, okay? I'm talking, okay? Meanwhile, VP Mike Pence is shutting her down, calling her out for her own hypocrisy. I'm speaking, okay? and the laugh and the smile, it's so sick, it's so uncomfortable, such a turnoff, it's so uncomfortable. That's all she could do. She doesn't represent women. I don't know why women are rooting for her just because she's a woman. Oh, give me a break. She's so disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of women saw that, and I think a lot of people, let's be honest, people that were independents, they saw the way Mike Pence conducted himself, and they saw the way Harris conducted herself. They're good. That probably got Trump a lot of voters on that debate.
Just that interaction, that human interaction. And I don't know if you noticed, but when they first came onto the podium for the debate, Kamala Harris wouldn't even look at Vice President Mike Pence. She wouldn't look at him.
We noticed Biden rarely looked at Trump during the debate, but Trump would stare down Biden the entire time. But you know what that's a sign of? That's a sign of confidence. That's a sign of leadership. That's a sign of being authoritative in what you're doing, respectful. But there's a lot of rumors that Biden had an earpiece
Hey everyone, what's up? For everyone that just got here, make sure you guys hit that like button. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for all the compliments and stuff. Yeah, I know the volume's all messed up right now. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of something to listen to. Usually I have to mute the video, but they have the commercial music playing in the background. But it's low enough to where I can kind of let you hear a little something. When the president speaks and they cut the music off, I'll be able to fix the volume. I understand it's low right now. Please take the second right now, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time we go live, and we go live every day. Thank you guys for being here.
Like about Donald Trump is he is a straight shooter. He shoots straight from the hip. He may not be the best bedside manner of anybody that we know, but he's going to tell it like it is. If you're on your deathbed, he's going to come to you and say, you know what, you're overweight, stop smoking, stop drinking, eat, have a better diet, or you're going to die. And he's going to walk out of the room. And you're going to go, wait a minute. I'm not going to tell you all the stuff that I think you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And that's exactly what he has done to America. He has told America, this is what I'm going to do, and he did it. So back to your question, she dodged every question like I knew she would dodge it. She is going to, they're not going to answer the question. What, you're going to pack in the court. You're going to pack the court. Oh, I'm not going to answer that question.
I'm not going to answer that. Not until after the election. So how are we supposed to know who to vote for and like get a gauge for what this country is going to look like if you can't tell us what it's going to look like? Seriously. I want to give a shout out. There's a super chat that came in. Yeah, there was a super chat that came in. I want to give a special shout out to this individual here. Oh man, they are flying. I'm trying to keep up here. Castron, I see what y'all are doing and appreciate a lot. Also, spreading your links and message. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. Thank you so much. Brandon, thank you so much for your super chat. Amish Mafia, Midland, Texas. Love Trump. We are pumping oil. Thank you so much.
Yeah, remember you said about fracking now.
Yeah.
Remember the fracking question.
Now there's one over here. Dr. Dixon, thank you so much for your super chat. Jeffrey Deloach, thank you so much. Thank you for all you guys do from Alabama. Wow, we've got viewers from all over the place. There was one I really wanted to find here. She talked about how she and her husband, I believe, are registered Democrats who will be voting for Trump for the very first time. I mean, seriously, how many stories like that have we heard? No kidding. The interviews that we've had just from this rally to
woken America up to the control that the government has. And of course, COVID's a very dangerous, look, we know if it strikes the wrong people, the wrong time, it can be deadly. We all know that. We're not denying that. We all use safety precautions when needed in the right environment. But I will say this, we can no longer allow our government to completely shut down our economy like they just did. I saw a report on Yelp that 60% of their restaurants on Yelp said they may not be open after the end of the year. And think about that in your hometown. How many people, how many restaurants, how many...
Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, I'm doing good. And for the comment that was talking about the governor, the governor here in Michigan, I don't know. She was like, feeling some type of way when the Supreme Court basically said that everything she's done since April 20th was void, shouldn't even have happened. She was like, not thrilled about that. But then having the president here in Muskegon yesterday speaking about her and having the crowd chant, lock her up. Yeah, she didn't like that. There's some articles out talking about how she was upset about that, saying it was inciting I don't know, violence or terrorism or something. Domestic terrorism. I think that's what it said. Inciting domestic terrorism. Hey, thank you guys so much for the donations. I really appreciate it. You guys are what's keeping the channel going. So big shout out to you. Thank you so much.
Much time left to do that, but hopefully you can get yourself one. We're just going to throw our camera over to our position so we can get a shot of the cars coming in. All right, as you can see, the crowd is building. I don't know if we have a shot of the vehicles coming in. I don't have the monitor in front of me. I don't know if we're seeing that or not. We maybe cut to that other camera angle. If not, that's okay. But we've got several, obviously dark SUVs with lights coming down the runway right now, and I can only expect the president to step out momentarily for that. The crowd here, everyone's got their phone up. Everyone wants to get that video, that picture of the president taking the stage once again as we count down to the 2020 election. And it is pivotal. I know we've talked about this before. I've talked about this almost ad nauseum, and I like to talk about it again. The church has got to step up and vote. If there's any issues that you've ever held onto that prevented you from voting for this president, you've got to put that aside. If you're pro-life and that is your only thing you're for, and the economic stance and everything else and foreign policy doesn't make a difference, then pro-life, then you vote for the president, because he is the first president since Reagan to come out from March for Life and state pro-life. Yes, we are seeing the vehicles come in right now. The excitement is building. Of course, we have been waiting out here for several hours. I know from early this morning, people have been lined up waiting for the president to get in here. And of course, the lines have been long, but people have been pretty patient. I haven't seen any skirmishes or any protesters like that at all. And quite honestly, they're not here. They're not here. And if they were here, they would get shut down, peacefully shut down, as we're not about that. We're about celebrating this president and all of his accomplishments over the last 4 years. And praise God, we get to do that for another 4 years. All right. So, as a reminder, share this video. We're moments away from the president taking the stage. Share this video. If you've got some friends that are on the fence who they're going to vote for politically, now is a good time. Now is a good time to share it. Get them involved in the conversation and let them see what the president stands on all these issues in today. The economy, immigration, health care is a big issue. I know that there's a lot of scare out there that the seniors are going to lose a lot of their benefits. And quite honestly, there's a lot of bad information being put out by the left. And Trump does not want to take away your health care for seniors. He does not want to take away your guns. He does not want to take away your freedom and liberty. Matter of fact, he's the exact opposite. He wants to keep your freedom and keep your liberty. I love seeing these flags fly here. What a beautiful sight on the backdrop of these mountains. Of course, we're just miles away on the other side of the state line. You've got Tahoe area. And when earlier one of the speakers said, hey, raise of hand, who's from California? And let me tell you something, this place is full of Californians. Seems like we're getting close. We've got some of the press secretary, the press agents coming out of the vehicles to line up from the front. 4 more years has been a very consistent chant we've seen over the last, this whole rally. 4 more years and songs that are uplifting and fun songs, sing-along songs we've heard as well, which just kind of sets the tone and the mood for this rally. This is a rally that's for America. It's for you and I. It's for freedom. It's for liberty. It's for what we all cherish in this world, religious freedom. All right, looks like we're more people coming out. The staging's kind of difficult for me to see from my vantage point, but definitely I would say that the president has arrived to this area for sure. They're staging the teleprompters right now, and yes, the president does use a teleprompter just like he does all the time. But the good thing about the president, though, and the thing that he's brilliant at, is actually firing off the hip. You know, I kind of like the president.
Hey everyone, hit that like button. The more likes that we can get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat. you want people to see what the president has to say, make sure you hit that like button, because that's what's going to happen. It'll bring more people in the chat. So take a second, hit it up, hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time we go live, and we go live every single day. Thank you all for being here.
And that's the draw to him. I think early on in the 2016 campaign, when there's 20-something candidates, he was not at the top of the list for a lot of people. I think a lot of people were going to the traditional Republicans, the Jeb Bushes, the Ted Cruzes of the world, and then slowly but slowly they got out, and the man of the people, Donald J. Trump, rose up to take them. It seems like we're getting closer and closer. It's almost like a hype video before the rock star comes out. And this is probably one of the greatest moments when you can go to a rally, is this initial walk-in of the president. And it's something that many here will never forget, because when the president walks on stage, Mike, and you've been here several times, this is one thing that you cannot miss, is when he takes the stage and the crowd cheers.
Yeah, it's incredible. It never gets old. I've seen it what feels like 100 times already, and it's a little bit different today because I think that this airport was a little too small for Air Force One to arrive. So I think he arrived via motorcade, so we're not going to get the same grand entrance that we normally do. But he is here. He is here. So we're moments away from President Trump taking the podium. So as we're waiting for that, I do want to thank everybody that's tuned in. We have a massive crowd of people watching right now. 107,000 people watching. Do yourself a favor and do us a favor and support Right Side Broadcasting. We're bringing you this event live. No other media outlet up here is going to show you this speech in its entirety and show the crowd. We're going to show you the whole crowd. When he says turn around and show the crowd, we're the only network that's going to do it.
Yeah, I understand golf and guns. But usually when the president's speaking, there isn't a whole lot of protesting and stuff going on. I know it happened a lot back in the summer, but it hasn't really been happening. I don't know if it's because they don't really talk a lot about where it's going to be located or the time it starts. They don't do a lot of promotion on that, so I don't know if protesters don't know the area or what the reasoning is, but there never seems to be protesting at the same time as the president speaking. But we will be showing protesting later, as long as there's, we know there's going to be protesters out there. So, yeah, we'll be showing that later.
The swamp, you got to drain that swamp. It's full of swamp creatures. Joe Biden is the Loch Ness monster in that swamp. Thank you all for supporting us. Go to rsbnetwork.com. We're almost entirely viewer funded. So your donations go a long way to sending us to these events. Tomorrow, President Trump will be in Prescott in Tucson, Arizona. And then I'm going to be the host with Scott Pressler in Erie, Pennsylvania on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a fire live stream right there. And then President Trump will be going to North Carolina. Maybe we can throw the graphic up on the screen of all of the events coming up. We got 16 days to go, guys, to save this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And I'm proud to be
All right, everyone. This is probably the last time I'm going to be able to speak before the president, does his thing. Like I've already said, I'm not going to try and talk over the president or interrupt the president. We're going to just go ahead and let him go through the whole speech. Before the president starts, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, share it, bring other people here, let people know what we're doing over here. I really appreciate all you guys for being here. I really appreciate everyone that's joined the membership program and everyone's made donations. I really appreciate you guys. For anyone that would like to do either, you can either click the join button right next to the subscribe button, or you can join the membership program or make a donation from the super chat button. I also have PayPal and Cash App links in the description, as well as some other information if you would like to check that out. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you are new here, we're going to be going live later after the protest we show, or after the rally, we show protests pretty much every night. So if you would like to check that out, just know that that's coming. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, and I'm going to fix the volume as soon as the president starts speaking. Thanks, everyone.
What a crowd. You see what's going on the road all the way up here. We have people all the way up. I tell you. It was never like that for the last administration, they tell me. You know, I'll ask the guys that happened to be with me. They were with the last one, too. They don't say much. I said, was it like that? They said, sir, nothing was like that. Nothing. It was never like that. And they've got the Trump signs and the flags and the American flags all over the place. All those American flags. Thank you very much. Hello, Carson City. Hello. It's great to be back in Nevada with the thousands of loyal, hard-working American patriots. Great people. Can you believe it? 16 days. 16 days. And you know what? 16 days from now, we're going to win the state of Nevada. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House. And we're going to keep it going. Early voting is underway, so get out and vote. And they're getting a little worried because certain areas, you know we're going to have a big red wave. We're going to have a tremendous, they know it. These fakers back there, they know it. They know it. All you have to do is look at this crowd. When did we set this up? Like 2 days ago? We'll be in Carson City in about 2 days. Did the people come out like crazy? And the people on the road, thousands and thousands, because they couldn't get in. It's pretty sad when you take an airport and it's not big enough, right? Sir, we have a problem. We have an airport, it's not big enough. But you know what's happening? So we have the big red wave is going to happen. And that's going to happen on November 3rd and a little before for the voting. But you can get out now, right, Michael? They can get out now and they can vote. But you know, strange things are happening in North Carolina. A lot of people are out there voting. You know, those lines are miles long. They're miles long. And they're wearing a lot of red caps. They're wearing caps, and they're wearing badges, and they're wearing those beautiful shirts. A lot of them, they love our country. They work so hard, but they weren't into voting for a long time. Then about 4 years ago, they went out, and now they're out, and I think even more so. There's even more enthusiasm now than we had 4 years ago. Actually, it's hard to believe, and I'll say it for the fake news, by a lot. So, like, I'll give you an example. Michigan. In Michigan, we're supposed to be probably 80-20 with us on the back, but we're going to catch them. You know, everyone's expecting we're going to do well. We should, with all the auto plants being built in Michigan. Hadn't been built for 42 years, and now they're building them all over the place. They're building a lot of jobs. They had the best year they ever had. Michigan had the best year. They have a governor that's got it locked down, but now we forced it to open up. They ruled unconstitutional what she's doing, but here's what's happening. So in Michigan, It was supposed to be, they were going to take the big lead, then we were like a racehorse, then we were going to catch them with a big red wave, because our people like to go and vote, They like to go and vote. But something strange is happening in Michigan. It's happening in other places too, but it's happening in Michigan because we're not at 20%. We're leading in the early vote. And that's never happened. That's never happened before for the Republicans. It doesn't work that way. Now, in all fairness, until I won Michigan 4 years ago, Michigan hadn't been won in decades, many decades, by a Republican. But we won it, and now we should win it by even more, because everything I said that would happen happened. All the plans, all the good economy and everything, until the China virus came in. The plague from China. But now we're, and how do I look, okay? Do I look okay? We can do things today that we couldn't do. We can do things today we couldn't do 7 months ago when we got hit with this thing. The whole world got hit with it. They should have kept it in. They could have kept it in. They protected their country, but they didn't protect the world or us, Europe. And we will never forget. We will never forget. We had just signed an incredible trade deal. The ink wasn't dry, and then we got hit by the plague. But we will not forget. But we were doing numbers like the likes of which we've never done before. 160 million people employed. You had the best year you ever had. But almost all states, I can say it, I don't have to do a lot of research. Almost every state was having the best year they ever had. And then we closed it up and we saved over 2 million lives by doing what we did. They don't like to say that. We did a great job. But we're now doing the vaccines. They're coming out very soon, very strong. Great companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, a lot of Moderna, great companies, a lot more than that. But they also have a lot of other things. And I would, they call them therapeutics. For me, it was a cure. I mean, what's the difference? I said, give me a definition. Because I wasn't feeling, I wasn't like, oh, gee, I feel great. Okay? I hate to admit I didn't feel, I haven't been somebody that's had a lot of problems with that stuff. So I hate to admit it, but you know what? I was not feeling great. Does that make sense to you? I wasn't exactly feeling the best. But the great thing is when you're president, you have so many doctors. I was saying to a group this morning, I said, I had 12 doctors around the bed, and everyone was grabbing a different part of my body. I did not like it. And they're all super geniuses. But I was not feeling good, and then they gave me this Regeneron, which is an antibody, and great company, great company, tremendous success with cures, vaccines, other things. And they actually came up with the Ebola drug, which saved so many lives. They came up with a lot of good stuff, and the other ones too, but this was one I liked because it just seemed to have a very good record, but it was brand new, hadn't been tested, hadn't been approved or anything. And by the way, we're approving it for everybody that needs it, free of charge, because it wasn't your fault, okay? And Eli Lilly makes a drug based on the same concept. Eli Lilly, great company from Indiana, great state. Great state because I won it by a lot. Every state that I win by a lot or win by a little, we're happy with. And by the way, we're leading, in the state of Nevada. You better get out of here. Why wouldn't we be? But anyway, I took this drug. I wasn't feeling good. It's a transfusion, as they say. Like 1 hour. And the next day, I felt like Superman. I got up and said, what the hell is going on? Whoa. I felt like Superman. I said, come on, bring him on, whoever it is. No, I felt good, and I could have left. I wanted to leave the hospital then. They said, sir, could we have a couple of more days, please? But these doctors are great. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. Thank you. But these doctors are great, and we can do things today 7 months ago was unheard of, really. The whole antibody thing was you know, what they've done is incredible. With the therapeutics and all of the vaccines that you're going to see coming on board right now. So, you know, I say you get out there and things are opening up. Tell your governor to open up. Tell everybody to open up. I told Michigan, you know, Michigan, we sued, and they found her. It was unconstitutional. The only person that her state was opened up for was her husband. He was allowed to go and sail his boat, do whatever the hell he wanted to, but nobody else could do anything. They were like locked in a prison. And it's very bad. You know, that causes a lot of problems. That causes, with the alcohol and drugs and depression and suicide, believe it or not. And the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. So it can't be, right? It can't be. So if you vote for me, and you know what's going to happen, let me change it. When you vote for me, so we have a lot of people here. Is there anybody that's going to vote for Sleepy Joe in this crowd? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Not too many. Not too many. Sleepy Joe. I can't even believe it. He should have never even gotten a nomination. You know, it was Bernie's nomination until Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, split up the vote. But let's change it. When you vote for me, prosperity will surge. Your taxes will be cut even further. You know, I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. The pandemic is rounding the turn. It's rounding, and we have the vaccines coming, and they go crazy, the fake news. But I will tell you, it's rounding the turn with or without. It's rounding the turn. You'll see that. Normal life. That's all we want. We want normal life, right? We want normal. We want to be where we were 7 months ago, right? We'll fully resume the Nevada tourism and hospitality industry, which is fantastic. Will come roaring back. And it will. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country for everybody. Unless somebody like Sleepy Joe Biden wants to substantially increase your taxes and your regulations. You know, we cut your regulations. It used to take up to 21 years to get a highway approved. Can you believe it? 21 years. You ever see the big charts where it showed you have to go here, 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 then back? And take years and years. It could be 21 years, and then they get, not only that, 21 years, and then they disapprove it, okay? You know, how would you like to have that job? After 21 years, you're going for a vote, and then you lose 3-2, and that's the end of that. So a big portion of your life was trying to get something approved. And we have it down to 2 years. I think I'll have it down to 1 year, and it may be disapproved. If it's environmentally not good, if it's unsafe, it may be, but it's going to be 1 year, 2 years, and most likely it will be approved, and it will get done. He wants to terminate our newfound energy independence, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to end fracking. You know, do you ever see this guy? For a year and a half, there will be no fracking, no fracking, no fracking. Then he goes to a great place, Pennsylvania, and they say, by the way, we have 1 million jobs for fracking. Oh, we will have fracking. We will have. And the fake news doesn't even talk to him about it. They don't ask him, like, well, how come for a year and a half you said there's no fracking? And then as soon as you get the nomination, you say, there's fracking. Remember Hillary? She said, no call, no clean call, no call, forget it. Then 3 weeks later, she had to go to, no, him up, you mean him up, because you see what's happening with Biden? He is a corrupt politician. But did you see Hillary? And then she goes to West Virginia, and she said, oh, well, actually, I like coal, but it was a little bit too late. It was a little bit too late. She got record low numbers. West Virginia, great place. They don't like it when somebody says, you can't dig coal. That was not good. But Biden wants to launch a socialist takeover of health care to cut our military budget, and he wants to cut it right to the bone. Well, the Democrats do not like our military. They always, you know, traditionally, we have built the greatest military any time that we've ever had anywhere in the world. If you vote for Biden, he will surrender your jobs to China. He will surrender your future to the virus. He's going to lock down. This guy wants to lock down. He'll listen to the scientists. If I listened totally to the scientists, we would right now have a country that would be in a massive depression. Instead of, we're like a rocket ship. Take a look at the numbers. And that's despite the fact that we have like 5 or 6 of these Democrats keeping their states closed because they're trying to hurt us on November 3rd. But the numbers are so good anyway. They'd be even better. But New York should be open. Michigan now has to open because of the court case. North Carolina should be open. They should be open. You guys, you want to open? Yeah, you want to open. Pennsylvania has to open. I mean, you know, we have places, and sometimes they're open, but they're partially open. They're not open like they should be. Get the places open. Let's go. Let's go. But he'll surrender your country to the radical socialist left. You see that happening. This election is a choice between a Trump super recovery, which we're in right now, or a Biden depression. You will have a depression. First of all, your taxes are going to be quadrupled. You will have a depression, the likes of which we have not seen since 1929. That's what's going to happen. And I'm very good at those things. You will have one of the great depressions of all time. Your taxes are going to go up. Your regulations are going to go up. Everybody's going to be leaving our country. All those jobs and companies that I brought in, they're all going back to where they came from. All he wants to do is raise it, even in the companies. Who wants to raise it for the companies? So they go back to another location. They came because we cut taxes. Now he wants to raise their taxes. They will leave. It's very simple. You know, it's one of those things. It's a choice between strong borders or no borders, between supporting the police or defunding the police, between delivering a vaccine in record time to kill the virus or a Biden shutdown to kill the economy. On November 3rd, vote for jobs, safety, lower taxes, a secure Second Amendment, and freedom. Right? There's a lot of people here. Look at that. Wow. It's a lot of people. I wish the cameras would show it. They never show it, right? They never show it. They show me. And you know what happens? Over my shoulders, about 3 or 4 people. 3 or 4. They're always complaining, I don't see masks. I mean, there's a lot of masks on. A lot of masks. Now, they're corrupt people, but Joe Biden is from a failed and corrupt political class that enriched itself while draining the economic life and soul from our country. Guy's been here for 47 years. Isn't it amazing? I do something, he says, oh, I would have done it. He's been here for 47 years. Now all of a sudden he says, oh, we should have done this. When I closed and put a ban on China coming and heavily infected, I saved thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of lives. He said I was xenophobic, I shouldn't have done it. Months later, he agreed it was the right thing to do. Now he goes out, I should have done it sooner. And yet he didn't want me to do it months later. These people, I don't know how they get away with it. You know why? Because those people are more corrupt than anybody. They don't even ask them. They don't even ask them. For the last 47 years, they shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, let drugs pour into our country and all over our great communities, and they ravaged our cities while sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, ridiculous foreign wars in countries that you never even heard of. By the way, they're all coming back. They've been coming back. People don't like to hear it. People don't like to report it. They're coming back rapidly. He's a servant of the wealthy donors, globalists, and special interests who got rich bleeding America dry. and putting America last. As your president, I could have been the greatest fundraiser of all time. You know, you see these numbers that they raised 300 million. You know why? When they raise money, that's a deal. They're making deals. I would be the single greatest fundraiser in history. I'll call up the head of Goldman Sachs. I'll call up the head of all these Wall Street guys. Most of them I know or know enough about. I know them all. I know them. I know too much. And I could call up, listen, do me a favor. Would you give 10 million to my campaign? Yes, Mr. President. Would you give 20 million to yes? But you know, when you do that, you don't have to say anything. When they call you in 3 months and they say, we need help with this or that, it's, you know, very hard. Like sort of almost morally. They did for you and you did for them. It doesn't have to be a deal or a quid pro quo like he had, right? Like he had with the $1 billion to get his son out of problems with the prosecutor, right? And they never ask him about that either. But I would be the greatest fundraiser of all time, but I don't like to do that because it puts us at a disadvantage. And we never want to be at a disadvantage. So easy though, think of it. The president calls, he'll give me whatever the hell I want. In 2016, you voted to fire this corrupt and decrepit political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first. Joe Biden is, and always has been, a corrupt politician. He always has been. And as far as I'm concerned, the Biden family is a criminal enterprise. It really is. Look at what's going on. It's a criminal. You know, I don't know what's going on with the Democrats, a very powerful party, but it's not the Democrats. It's the Democrats plus the fake news media. And then it's also including big tech. Okay? Here it is. It's me. I'm all you have between your Second Amendment and chaos and all the problems. It's me. I'm all you have. And the Republicans, I love the Republicans, and we have some great, but they have to learn to stick together better. You know, we have some stupid people. You know, we have some stupid people. Some of them are gone. Flake, Corker, they're gone. But now we have this guy Sass, wants to make a statement. Little Ben Sass. The Republicans have to stick together better. You don't see that. One thing I respect about the Democrats, they stick together. You know what? They have lousy policy. They want open borders. They want sanctuary cities. They want a lot. They want to raise your tax. They want to quadruple your taxes. But the one thing is, they stick together. The Republicans have to learn. They got to stick together. I don't know. And by the way, it's been that way for decades. I don't know what the hell is in the blood. Could you explain that to me, please, Michael? Huh? What the hell is going on? It's been that way for many decades. I don't know. There's always a few. They want to make a statement. It's just a bunch of wimps. Very interesting. Now, I love them. They've been great. Hey, look, on the impeachment hoax, I couldn't do better. The 197-0 in the House, Republicans. And we even had the Democrat or two come and join us, right? That was an impeachment over a telephone call that was perfect. Other than that, think of that. But 197-0, and with the Senate, 52.5 to a half. Who was the half? I can't think of it. Oh, Biden couldn't think. He couldn't remember the name, right? He couldn't remember the name. Look, the guy from, I think he was the governor. I'm not sure. Or now what? Is he a senator now? Yeah. What's his name? Mitt Romney. That's right. Oh, that's. He didn't remember, which I thought was insulting to Mitt Romney. I wouldn't insult Mitt Romney that way. Okay. But Biden couldn't remember his name. They've only known each other for about 35 years. No, Biden is gone. Let's not kid ourselves. We want to be nice. Biden is gonzo. Can you imagine having Kamala? Most liberal member of Congress. The most liberal member of Congress. And I think that whole thing, that's why Nancy Pelosi is talking about the 25th Amendment. That's the real reason. They want to get him the hell out. The Bidens make crooked Hillary Clinton look like an absolute amateur. It's true. And she's pretty bad. And I do want to hear from law enforcement, why aren't they looking at, maybe they are, and I hope they are. You know, I try and stay out of it because I'm trying very hard to be so right down the middle. But why aren't they looking at the fact that she got a subpoena from the United States Congress for 33,000 emails, and she deleted every single one of them and then acid washed them. And then she pounded her telephones with a hammer. I've gotten rid of cell phones and I just throw them away, you know. Now I throw them into the Secret Service, okay, I give them back. But before this, I throw them away, I get a new one, right? She pounded the crap out of them with a hammer. How many people have gotten rid of your cell phones and pounded them to death with a hammer? So I just want to know, why aren't they looking at that? Why aren't they looking at that? Why aren't they looking at Ilhan Omar? But the biggest of them all is Joe. He's corrupt. And they found the laptop. You know what they call that? The laptop from hell. That is a laptop. That's a laptop from hell. Let's see what happens with it. Let's see what happens with it. So a giant trove of emails show Hunter Biden making deals, setting up meetings with his father, Joe, and using the office of the vice president for a for-profit cash machine. That's what it is. This guy's a vacuum cleaner. He follows his father around and takes millions, hundreds of millions, and billions of dollars out of these countries. I mean, that is so dishonest. That's so crooked. He is, no, I call him the human vacuum cleaner, right? You know those things on television? He's better than any one of them. Joe Biden said he knew nothing, but he lied because I'm telling you, this laptop is a disaster. The fake news and big tech don't want to write about it, though. They don't want anything to do with it. And they punish. And thank you to the New York Post. It's unbelievable what they're doing. You know, it's the fifth or fourth largest newspaper. So you'd call it the mainstream, not the lamestream, but the mainstream media. But it's I guess the fourth largest. It's the oldest newspaper in the U.S. I think it was Alexander Hamilton founded it, right? And they should be very proud of what they're doing, because the New York Times refuses to write about it. And the fake Washington Post, which is a total fake, you know, that's a lobbyist for Bezos and the group, okay, for Amazon. But he calls it the lobbyist. He must call it that. I call it the lobbyist, okay? You own the Washington Post, you have a little power. It's a free lobbyist. Although it's probably not a free one. It probably costs him a fortune. But it gives him what he needs. But it's fake. And if you look at NBC and MSDNC, right? And if you look at ABC, how about Stephanopoulos the other day? Right? You know, he interviewed me 2 weeks ago. He gave me a tough interview, but I didn't consider it unfair. Although it turned out the audience was stacked against me, you know. There were some Trump people and some Biden people and some new people. Well, no, it didn't work out that way, did it? And actually, they were very nice, right? The one woman said how handsome I was. You know, the one woman. No, it's true. I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that than have her say, you're a wonderful politician. No, with that, I'd rather have her say, what's better than that, right, Michael? You're so handsome. You have such a great smile. But see, here's what happened with her. She was so nice, but she was supposed to be like, I think, a former Hillary supporter. But the way she said it to me, it was so nice. And then, after the show, and she said it, right? Did anyone see that? It was so lovely. And then after the show, she went rogue. No, I wouldn't vote for him. In other words, they said, wait a minute, this isn't the deal here. What are you doing? I'm sure that the Democrats, together with their partner, ABC Television Network, said, what the hell happened with her? That's a terrible thing that she did. So I'm sure they hit her very hard, and she got back in line, okay? But I think hopefully her first statement was the statement she believed. He's a handsome man. See now, the fake news will say President Trump went on a rant talking about how handsome he is. They don't understand. He went on a rant. It was a terrible thing. We don't think he's handsome. Actually, they think I must be the most unattractive human being they've ever seen. Except what they don't realize is without me, they will have ratings that will nosedive. They'll go out of business, every one of them. Right? You know, I'm making this speech a little bit longer, then I'm looking at this crazy Nevada sun, and I'm sitting here with his white skin. But who the hell cares if I get a little sunburn, huh? They don't want to write about or report on the scandal because they want Biden to win. You know, I've always said, in the end, they're going to all endorse me. Because if Biden wins, they're out of business. This is the most boring human being I've ever seen. But they want Biden to win so they can take over our country. Because they will take it over between big tech, Section 230, by the way. All right, go ahead. No. No, that it'll be one of the great disasters. I'm telling you. Depression. Just remember the word. And you know it. And California, are you from California? You do. You do. You do. Come on, Gabe. Let's go, Gabe. Come on, Gabe. You know, I just left. I'll tell you what. So I just left California. And I was in a place that was sort of Republican. But I was with a wonderful reporter. I just spoke to him from the Washington Times, which is a really good newspaper, by the way. And he reported very strongly. The crowds were unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I don't know why we wouldn't win California. We're playing it a little bit. In theory, you're not supposed to be able. But they have everything against them. High crime, homeless. They don't take care of their homeless. I tell Nancy Pelosi, come back to San Francisco and take care of your homeless, Nancy. The endless forest fires, they're endless. I do, I like the governor, but I said, do you ever stop with these forest fires? Can you ever stop? They got to manage the forest, you know. They talk, it's all sorts of reasons. They got to manage the forest. Manage it. It's called forest management. But they got to stop. They got to stop. And now they have a new thing. They're running out of water. And you know, they've run out of electricity. They have brownouts, blackouts. What's going on? And a lot of people are leaving. They're leaving for Texas. They're leaving for Texas. They're leaving for Florida. They're leaving for places that are really well run. But it's very interesting. A big thing the other day. They're going to ration their water in California. And I felt so badly. I called up and said, oh, do you have a drought? No. You know what they do? Millions of gallons an hour come down from the north. Pour down, pour down. So they have so much, right? They have so much water. But they route it into the Pacific Ocean because they have a smelt, right? Is it a smelt? How's that for a memory? Good? There's no problem there. Ask smelt. It's a little tiny fish. And it's been having difficulty over the last long time. With water, without water, it's having difficulty. But they want to save the smelt. And in saving the smelt, they're destroying human lives, right? And they're destroying the farmers. And even Los Angeles, the homes. So they have a thing where they're bringing it down ultimately to 42 gallons a person. And that sounds like a lot. Look, if somebody said you could have 42 gallons a person, I think a day, it sounds like a lot of water, right? It's not. It's like a quick shower and let's wash your hands. Then they have a mandate, wash your hands at all times. You must always, constantly wash. Then they say 42 gallons. I say, wait a minute. Okay, I got a deal. I won't take a shower for the next couple of weeks, but I'll wash. No, it's true. So 42 gallons, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. friend of mine, he has this massive house. He says, I'm not going to be able to take a shower. I live in a house, this gorgeous house, right? Can't take a shower. Wash your hands every hour, every 15 minutes. You know what I did? I'll tell you this crazy story. So you know what bothers me? When you go into a new hotel or a new house, they have these faucets, right? And you turn them on, no water comes out. Even if you live in like North Carolina, you live in areas where, up in New England, most of our country has so much water we don't know what to do with it. The problem is how do you get rid of it? But they do for, like the desert, like here, but they do for areas that are a little bit tougher for water. But even you have the water. So they do it. So they come up with this one regulation for all over the country. So you go into a hotel or you buy a house, and they have what's called a restrictor. Right? Look at it. They're all nodding. Same thing, by the way, same thing with your dishwasher. I freed that up too. The dishwashers, they had a little problem. They didn't give enough water. So people would run them 10 times. So they end up using more water. And the thing's no damn good. We freed it up. Now you can buy a dishwasher and it comes out and it's beautiful. Go buy a dishwasher. Go buy it. Those companies. I said, what's wrong with this thing? It doesn't clean the dishes, right? The women come up to me. The women who they say don't like me, they actually do like me a lot. Suburban women, please vote for me. I'm saving your house. I'm saving your community. I'm keeping your crime way down. I keep hearing, no, they keep, it's all fake stuff. Remember they said last time about women. Women will never vote. He will never vote for Donald Trump. They'll never vote. Then the end of the evening, they're all crying. Oh, my God, what happened? Remember John King? What's going on over here? The red. He won Florida. Oh, he won Florida. It wasn't that I won Florida. I won it like fast. And by the way, we're way up in Florida right now, too. Because we've done a great job. Okeechobee. We've done a great job for Florida. We've done things for Florida that nobody thought could ever be done. But anyway, John King, so he's up there. He won Florida. Oh. Well, that was quick. But the big, when we won Ohio, because did you ever hear for a year and a half, when we were thinking about doing this, you cannot win unless you win the great state of Ohio, right? You heard that 100 times. They were doing that for me. Shtick. And then I get these polls. I had great people in Ohio. They said, sir, you're going to win Ohio. You don't even have to come back. You're going to win Ohio. By the way, they said that to me again just recently. But they said, you cannot win. So we end up winning Ohio by 8 points. And it wasn't that we won Ohio, but the polls closed at 7 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock and 1 second, because, unless you win big, Michael, right? You have to, they keep you waiting. So the polls have closed in the great state of Ohio. Donald Trump has won the state of Ohio. They kept saying I was evil. We had groups, they said I was, I'll tell you how accurate their polls were 4 years ago. I was down in 9 states the day of the election. I won all 9 states. Thank you. Right? Other than that, they were quite accurate. Actually, this time they're much better. You want to know the truth. This time they're actually much better. No, but we're doing much better. And as I said, we have much more enthusiasm now. But anyway, getting back to my very boring story about faucets and dishwashers. So I said to the head, I called up great dishwasher company from Ohio that we saved, by the way. I said, what's the problem with your dishwasher? Well, they don't give us any water. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to get enough water. What's the problem? We need more water. Not that much, but I said, how much you need? This. Would you like more? Well, I'd love more. Would you give us more? Yeah, I'll give you more. You have so much water, you don't know what to do with it, right? So we gave them what they need. And now the dishwashers are incredible. They work beautifully. And you go one time, and you come back and your dishes are nice and beautiful and clean and dry. You don't have to go 10 times. The same thing with the restrictors in the faucet. So I hate to say the 3 things. It's the shower, it's the sink, and the third element in the bathroom. But I don't say it, because every time I say it, they only talk about that one. Because it's sort of gross to talk about, right? So I won't talk about the fact that people have to flush their toilet 15 times. Okay? I will not talk about it. I'll only talk about showers, but there is 3 things. I won't talk about it. This way they can't report it. So what happens, I call my people, environmental people, why are we doing this? Because when you wash your hands, it takes you 5 times longer. You know, the water's not coming. You got soap, you can't get it off. I said, open it up. They said, what do you mean? Take the restrictors off. People know. And if you're out here, you got to be careful and you got to do all the things you've been doing anyway. Take the restrictors off. And you may leave it in certain areas where you might need it, but most of the country, big portion, it doesn't need it. Then on the shower, the worst. You ever get under a shower where no water comes out? And me, I want that hair to be so beautiful. Right? It's true. It's true. I want the hair to look good. I go into some of these hotels, you know, you travel, and I go into these hotels, new hotels, they do a nice job, it's not their fault. And I get in there, I say, oh, I can look at it now, I know everything. I say, oh, here we go. Turn on the water, drip, 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 drip. But now, you go into a shower and the water pours out. You go into a sink, and you can wash your hands very nicely, beautiful. And the third thing, don't worry about, okay, we won't talk about it. This one time, that's all. So I'm not just running against Biden, but you watch, they'll be talking about the third thing. They won't. I've done this before. And they never even talk about sinks and showers. So I never talk to you. You'll see how dishonest they are. But I'm running against a left-wing media, big tech giants, and a corrupt political class, and a corrupt Democratic Party. You saw what they did. They spied on my campaign and got caught. They tried to take down the President of the United States. But they went after the wrong president. Let me tell you something. I really believe this. Somebody said it just today. Any other president would not have been able to withstand what we've done. They'd be in a corner with their thumb in their mouth saying, please take me home to mommy, please. These people are evil. Even Schiff today, you know Shifty Schiff? So, did you hear the new one? I was waiting for this. So they find this horrible, horrible laptop of Hunter. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? But Joe is far more corrupt than Hunter. Because Joe knew everything. Joe's getting a piece of everything. They have it in the email, 10% and 50%. But Joe is far more corrupt than Hunter. But what happens is, they say, where's Hunter? And they see what's going on. Everybody's looking for him. Everybody wants to find. And all we're hearing is that you can't talk about this kind of thing. You can't talk. Can you imagine if that were Don Trump Jr.'s laptop? Or Eric Trump, who's such a fun, these are good kids, but they have just been brutalized by these maniacs. Or what about our great Ivanka Trump? Can you imagine? Tiffany, even Barron, right? Barron, you know, Barron. No, they're all good kids. But could you imagine? You know, Barron had the problem, okay? He got healed in about 15 seconds, right? You got to understand that. You know, the young kids, was it 99.9 something? They said Barron tested positive. Even I wasn't worried. You know, he's strong. He's definitely tall. He's tall. And he's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's a smart kid. But they said, sir, Barron tested positive. At first she said, oh. I said, well, is he okay? Yeah. Are you going to give him anything? No. Like 2 seconds later, I said, how's Barron? Oh, he's all set. He beat it. I hate to say it. They have a much stronger immune system than we do. I hate to say that. You know? I said, congratulations, Barron. I said, that was quick. I said, how did it feel? I don't know. But the Democrats and this horrible group of people, they have nothing but disdain for you and for your values. They lecture you on the need for open borders while they live behind gated communities like Nancy Pelosi. She doesn't want a wall, but she lives in this very beautiful house with lots of good ice cream. They support crippling lockdowns while their jobs remain totally exempt. They keep your kids out of school while their kids and their families have private tutors, right? They want to take away your guns. They want to destroy your Second Amendment while they employ armed guards. And it's time that we sent them a very strong message because they're hypocrites in Washington, D.C. and in Silicon Valley. And in Silicon Valley. Section 230 on election day. Not everybody understands that, but we have some great politicians here today that understand it. But on election day, you can send a message to the fake news media right there, to the big tech companies, and to the Washington swamp. We never knew it could be this deep. When I said drain the swamp, I didn't know it was this bad. But send them a message that they will never forget. Show them that the American people are still in charge by delivering Sleepy Joe Biden and the Democrats a thundering defeat on November 3rd. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. But I've dealt in politics for a long time. I know them very well. I know them all very well. I've dealt for a long time. I know them all. If I do not, thank you very much. If I do not always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than anyone ever before. Right? Thank you very much. By the way, did you see Biden this morning? He was very agitated. You get agitated. He was very agitated, and he's screaming at him, and he had nobody in the audience. He had a couple of cars. Did you see it? They honk in the horn. I can't believe it. And they don't report that. You know, we got lucky. I think the cameraman slipped and the camera went a little off kilter because they would never. Just like we want them to show our crowds. They don't want them. I love watching those circles. He's got those big, they're so well done, though. The best thing about his campaign is the guy or woman that does the circles. No, there's a lot of talent there. They're perfect. You know, I'm a perfectionist, frankly. I am. He's always a good builder. Look at those circles, very thick. And very far apart. I think you got about 6 of them, because that's the number of people that show up. This way he could say, we were sold out today. I'm fighting against forces who want to destroy everything that you love and cherish. People think of Joe Biden as a nice man, but he's not a nice man. No, he's not a nice man. He was never a nice man. And he was never a smart man. He got lucky. He got lucky that Pocahontas didn't quit earlier. And he's not a good man. He's a corrupt man. And he took an ad against me knowing it was false. You probably know the ad. It's a horrible, vicious ad having to do with the military. It's a totally false, horrible, horrible ad. And nobody has ever done more for the military than I have. Nobody. And we advised him and his group of dishonest cronies, legally and every other way. We advised them and we let them know. We're putting complaints in all over the place. But he took a vicious, vicious, horrible ad of something I never said. It was a magazine that's an Obama-type magazine with Obama and Biden and crooked Hillary. It's I won't even mention them, third-rate magazine, loses a fortune. And they made up a story. And they said I said certain things. There's no human being on earth, unless they're seriously, seriously deranged, that would say such a thing. And I said it in front of other soldiers. And I have 26, I think, witnesses saying, it's ridiculous. Number one, you wouldn't need any witnesses. Nobody would say a thing like that. But we said it never happened. They have no witnesses. They have, I think, an anonymous source. But the source doesn't exist. It was made up. It was made up just like the Russia bullshit was made up. Okay? So they made it up. They made up this lie, and now it's in television commercials, like I said it. And frankly, if I were a military person and if I saw that ad, I would never vote for Trump. And I told my people, this is a very serious thing. They took a statement, made up a statement, just like they do. This is what they do. They're vicious, horrible people. They made up a statement, and now they put ads in during a football game. I see an ad. I'm watching the game. I mean, I must tell you, I'm not into football so much anymore. You want to know that? No, I'm not. It's hard to watch. I love people that honor our anthem and honor our flag and honor our country. Thank you very much. Thank you. And you look at the basketball. Did you see the basketball already? It's final game. Down 70%. Who the hell? I didn't watch one shot. No interest. No. We want people. You know what? People want to watch sports. They want to watch sports. They have enough of us, right? They have enough of us. There's plenty of us. But down 70%. I mean, in one way it's a shame. In another way, you know, when we had this argument with the NFL 2 years ago, it really hurt them badly. They were down 25, 30%, right? People weren't going to the games. And I thought we won the battle. I thought it was over. Then I saw Roger, nice guy, Roger Goodell, in his basement wearing a blue T-shirt, tight, very tight. You know, like he's a player. It doesn't work. I don't want to have a tight one. I want it as loose as possible. But he's wearing a tight one. He thinks he's all buffed up and everything. Didn't look... No tie, you know, just a T-shirt, like an undershirt that's painted blue. That's a blue color. I don't even think it had anything on it. And he said, we've decided to do this and that. And then I said, there goes the NFL, right down the tubes. And nobody was, this was during, I think, August. Nobody was even talking about it. What the hell is he doing? And here it goes again. Nobody cares about football because of it. And I don't know how many chances they're going to get, but they ought to get smart because they can't win this war. We want people that love our country. We don't want this crap. If a player's making $25 million a year doing something he'd be doing anyway on the weekend, okay, because he loves playing football, and if somebody's making $10 million for blocking or $25 million for throwing, and they say what a horrible country we're living, we can't do that. Can't do it. And you know what? I want them to protest. I think if they want to protest, they can. And there's always reason to protest. They can, but not then, and not sitting on a knee instead of standing proudly with your hand on your heart. And you know, in the contract, they have a clause. You have to stand hand on heart. They actually have, I think, hand on heart, but they don't want to exercise it because they're weak. They're weak people. And weak people is what got our country in trouble. And you talk about weak, Joe Biden. Joe Biden and the socialists will kill your jobs, dismantle your police departments, dissolve your borders, confiscate your guns, and impose a $4 trillion tax hike on your companies and yourselves. $4 trillion. You know what $4 trillion is? That's the largest tax hike in the history. And you know what they're going to do with it? They're going to spend it on the Green New Deal. Conceived by the brilliant AOC +3, a poor student with absolutely no environmental experience, right? They want to attack religious liberty, drive God from the public square, and destroy your suburbs. I say that to the women because I keep hearing, they said, the women from the suburbs. No, I think the women from the suburbs are looking for a couple of things. One of them is safety, one of them is good, strong security, and one of them is they don't want to have low-income housing built next to their house. And you know who makes up 30% of your suburbs? Minorities, African Americans, right? Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, minorities, okay? People think, is it racist? It's not racist, it's the opposite. I've had them come to me, people come to me and say, thank you so much. But they keep talking about the women from the suburbs. I say, I think we're gonna have a big resounding, what the hell happened with women to the suburbs? They really like Trump a lot. No. Only vote for me if you're a woman from the suburbs. And you know, I shouldn't say this because they'll bring it up, but one time, early on, You know, I haven't been doing this that long, right? You know, I haven't been doing. I have guys that have been running. Sir, I've been running for 40 years. I said, well, I've only run for 2 years, but I became president. You didn't. But you know, it's sort of interesting because I really think that women from the suburbs are going to like Trump because I think it's going to be one of the big. Because that's it. It is. It is about safety. It is about safety. And when you see what happens in our cities where they run and ransack and they're anarchists. And you know what? They say the suburbs are next. They actually say the suburbs are next. And just so you know, so important, these are Democrat-run states and cities. Republicans are doing great. And we're not going to let this happen. And we'll stop it. We want a resounding victory. We're going to stop it. But the suburbs are next. But I did say, early on, I said housewives from the suburbs. They went after me when I said that. Let me ask you, the women from the suburbs, do you mind when we say housewives from the suburbs? No? They're all saying no. But I'll do it politically correct anyway. If you don't, I'll say women. But I said housewives from the suburbs. They went crazy. Donald Trump, he wasn't politically correct, they said, Michael. Biden supports cutting police funding, abolishing cash bail. You know, you get a murderer. Oh, let's let him out. Oh, let's let him walk the street. You see what's happening in New York? What they're doing to New York, our governor, what he's doing to New York is horrible. And he called law enforcement, Sleepy Joe, he called law enforcement recently the enemy. No, law enforcement has done an incredible job. And you're always going to have a bad apple. You're always going to have somebody that chokes. You know, they have like a quarter of a second. Do you ever see the test where somebody slashes open the door? You got a quarter of a second. And they could be on the force for 30 years. But that's a hard thing to do, right? And you're going to have people, they choke. Like in sports, you see it, they choke. Some people choke. Then you have Jack Nicklaus and you have Tiger and you have great people that tend to choke a lot less. But some people choke and it's not their fault. It's just the way it is. You have a quarter of a second to make a decision. Quarter of a second. Think of it. Joe Biden and the Democrat Party have waged a war on police, on cops, and inciting riots. And that's what you do. When you take away the majesty of that position, you are inciting violence. When you allow people to loot stores and you have the police standing back and they want to go in and do their job, and they can do it so easy. You don't even need us to bring in the National Guard like we did in Minneapolis, like we were ready to do in Seattle, and then they gave up the night before because they didn't want to play games. I was so disappointed when they gave up. I was. The one I really want to do is Portland. That's going to be so easy. We have to be invited in. The governor doesn't want. I call her. I say, Governor, let us go in. Give us 30 minutes, Governor. But you know what? I don't want to violate. I could, I guess, if I did. But we have to be invited in. And the city, it's the craziest thing. These are anarchists. That would be the easier one. Would love to go in and do something big with Chicago. That's actually a bigger problem. Hard. The easy one are the anarchists in the middle of the street that hate our country, hate our cops. You saw them. They killed this young man, right? They shot him in the street. And a day went by. They knew the guy. And they didn't arrest him. Another day went by. I called down. I said, what's going on? They didn't arrest him. They knew who he was. They knew where he was. They would have never. So I sent in our great U.S. Marshals. They were so happy. The law enforcement, they love our country. They were so happy. And this guy was a killer. He had other crimes too, by the way, bad ones. But he shot this young man right in the middle of the street. Shot him. You heard the bullet ring out. You heard the people scream. They knew who it was. They said that was so-and-so. So after 2.5 days, I said, go in. Gotta get him. 15 minutes, it was all over. It was all over. That was it. It's all over. Here in Nevada, rioters burned the city of Reno. And during the violent demonstrations in Las Vegas, a 29-year-old police officer was deliberately shot in the head while he was doing his job. Think of it. You know who that was, right? You know who he was. Joe Biden. Is he here? No. Right? You know who I talked to, because his partners we talked to a lot of the people that were there. I think his partner's here. But I want to tell you, we can't let this happen. They've taken away the respect. You have to let them do their job. They'll do it well. You can't have, remember in Minneapolis, where the mayor ordered the police to leave the premises, right? Seattle, leave the premises. And then they took over the police department. You have that, you're not going to have a country. But this is the radical left. This is the radical left. Joe Biden will appease the rioters, looters, and anarchists, and I'm having them arrested instead, okay, if you don't mind. And remember, it's all in Democrat cities and states, all in Democrats. If you're a moderate Democrat or a liberal who knows that your party has gone totally off the rails, we are welcoming you with open arms to the Republican Party. Biden's agenda would also be a catastrophe for Nevada seniors. Any seniors here? For years, Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare. You know that, right? Remember, they used to say, oh, I'm going to cut it. Well, what happened? I never cut it. Remember, they said, I'm going to be in wars. You know, that's my personality. They think it's not really. It is if we have to. I'll be better than anybody else. But, you know, you say, whatever happened to North Korea? Remember, we were supposed to be in a war with Obama or Hillary or whoever it was. You would have been in a war. Obama expected to be in a war. That would have been a bad war. Now Biden is pledging mass amnesty and free health care for illegal aliens, decimating Medicare and destroying your Social Security. While I am president, no one will touch your Medicare or your Social Security, including me. No one. Under my leadership, we are delivering a safe vaccine and very rapid recovery, and we're all set to deliver it. We have the military ready to deliver it. It's going to be incredible. We have a general, that's what he does. He delivers soldiers and delivers everything. This is easy for them. It'll be delivered very, very rapidly. Joe Biden would terminate our recovery, delay the vaccine, and annihilate Nevada's economy with a draconian, unscientific lockdown. Because, you know, they're finding out these lockdowns aren't working. Look at Europe. They're having this massive surge. They've been locked down. Okay, look at these lockdowns. They've been locked down, and now they're having a surge. Look at Michigan. Michigan had a surge. Well, who's been tougher than her? She ran it like a prison. She was like a warden, right? And they have a surge. And then they say she's doing a wonderful job. I think she's doing a terrible job. By the way, I know all of the governors. You know, we basically deal with the governors. The governors run their states. We give them the equipment. We help them out. We got them all of the ventilators. We did an incredible job with that. Jared Kushner did a great job. We had so many. No, he did an incredible job. He got these guys from Silicon Valley. Nobody understood. Ventilators, right? No, but, you know, for that, they're good. I have to tell you, they came in. Everybody said, these things are complicated. They walked in like, that's got to be the simplest piece of equipment we've ever seen. And we now have become the ventilator. I mean, we're making thousands and thousands a month, and we're actually giving them, we don't need any. But we didn't have ventilators. We weren't equipped for a thing like this. Our cupboards were empty. The governors were. And I got to know all the governors. Some did a great job and some did a poor job. But when we had our weekly calls with the governors, they would say, even the biggest enemies, the biggest haters, sir, thank you very much. Or to our great vice president who headed up the task force, Mike Pence. Mike Pence. Oh, did he do well in his debate with her? That was unfair. If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right? They should have stopped it. I said they should have stopped that debate in the middle. That's a great expression, right? Boxing, you know, you learn UFC. If that were a fight, they would have stopped it. But Mike was great, and he's done great, and he did great with this whole thing. But the governors would say on conference calls, all 50, usually almost all of them were on, because they all wanted everything. You know, their cupboards were empty. That was their fault. I guess, you know, but let's say it was their fault. But we had to help them, and we did. We built hospitals for some of them. We built everything. We did a great job. But they would say, thank you very much, great job, great job, great job, every one of them. And if they weren't happy, we'd make them happy during the call, because we had the generals, the admirals, we had great people, and we took care of them. And they'd say, great job, thank you very much. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you very much, great job. We're sending a lot of gowns to Michigan, goggles to Michigan, lots of things to all the different states. But she'd say, great job, thank you very much. We have it all down. You know, it's all down. Because I think all those calls, I hope they were taped. Hey, could you imagine if we didn't have my call with the president of Ukraine, if we didn't have that transcribed? Then it would have been this crazy maniac named Adam Schiff with his phony story that he told to the United States. But we had it transcribed. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So I think we have it transcribed or taped. But all the governors, every one of them, thank you very much, great job, great job, great job. Then they go outside and they see the press. You know, they get nervous with the press. These guys, they make them nervous. We're not very happy with the job the president's doing. I said, he's no good people. But you know what? Someday I'll tell you the story. We had some great ones, and we had some people that didn't know what the hell they're doing. But I'll let you know at the right time who they were. Under the Biden lockdown, the lights of Reno and Las Vegas were extinguished. Carson City will become a ghost town. If he comes in, Carson City will become a ghost town. And the Christmas season will be canceled. Look, remember I said we're going to bring back Christmas, right? The name? Remember? We brought it back, right? Remember? I used to go around saying we will bring, because I saw these big department stores, you know, they thought it was politically correct. So they say, have a great season. I said, no, I don't want to have a great season. I want to say Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas. Huh? Now they're all saying Merry Christmas again. So I just want to introduce a couple of warriors that are here. We're joined tonight by Congressman Mark Armadale. Come up, Mark. What a job you're doing, Mark. He's a warrior. Thank you, Mark. What a great job. What a great job. How are we doing? Okay, we're doing all right here, right? Huh? Thank you very much. You're doing good. Thank you, Mark, very much. We're also a man who's a fighter. But if he loses, I will never talk to him again. And he's the Nevada Republican Party chairman, respected by everybody, loved by everybody, Michael McDonald. Michael. You look good, Michael. You look good, Michael. And congressional candidate, somebody that's going to win, and we're working with him very strong, Jim Marchant. Jim, thank you. I hear you're doing good. I heard you're leading in the poll. Jim, get it done. We'll help you. A friend of mine and a man who's doing really well, and he's watching those, he's a very smart guy and respected by everybody. He's watching those ballots come in. I think he's watching every one of them. Attorney General, your former Attorney General, respected. They love him, and I love him. Adam Laxalt. So, Adam, are you and Nick finding any bad things? Anything bad happening? Can you please watch very closely, Adam? For the people, not for me. You know, you're not doing this for me, you're doing it for the people, okay? He's got the most important assignment there is. Because a lot of bad things, they're finding those things in creeks, they're finding them in riverbeds, they're finding them in ash cans and dumpsters. And large numbers in Ohio, 50,000 were missing. In Virginia, 500,000 applications were made that were false. And in one place, everything was good except for one problem. They forgot to put my name on it. Other than that, it was great. Other than that, it was great. Other than that, they were very reasonable, but my name wasn't on it. And then somehow that didn't work out too well, Michael. A lot of them, too. And then they found some military ones, great, great military ones. And they were found in a waste paper basket. And they all had the name Trump on it. They were all signed for Trump. They were Trump. They were voted for Trump. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get there because they were in a waste paper basket. Anyway, and the Republican National Committeeman from Nevada, Jim DeGraffeney. Jim. Thank you, Jim. Great job. Great job, Jim. How's it going? Good? We're doing all right over here, Jim? Good. You're a handsome man, Jim. As president, I've been delivering for our incredible Hispanic American community like never before. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I like you too. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. The polls are showing Trump. They're saying, what the hell is going on with Trump and the Hispanic American community, right? No. We're at the highest level that they've ever had recorded for a Republican. It's got to be higher, but it's literally we're beating the Democrats, who have been all talk and no action. All talk. I like Hispanics. I like Hispanics. I like Hispanics Americans. I'm taking care because I'm fighting for school choice, right? Safe neighborhoods and Hispanic-owned small businesses. You have no idea how great business people, Hispanic Americans are great business people. I've known that for a long time. Sometimes they say they're too good. They are tough sometimes, but they're great business people, and we've helped them. Joe Biden would crush everything Hispanic Americans have worked for, wiping out your small businesses with lockdowns and regulations and devastating your families with massive tax hikes. Your tax hikes, by the way, I never heard all my life, if you're running for office, you cut taxes, right? Who the hell ever heard of a guy running? Here's a guy, can't put two sentences together, and he wants to quadruple your taxes. And they say, he's tied in Nevada. How the hell can we be tied? How can I be tied with him in Pennsylvania, and he doesn't want to frack? That's 1 million jobs. And it's going to destroy our energy business because we're energy independent. They're tied. I mean, what's going on? It doesn't. And okay, so he goes out, gets no people at any of the rallies. I go out, we get 35, 40,000, 25,000, 15,000. Boom. We go, boom, 15,000. We get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I mean, I'm not saying, look, everything I say, they'll correct if, I mean, they'll say, who cares? I don't even care what they say at this point. But we get these massive crowds. He gets nobody. And then they say, we're tied. What the hell kind of a business are you in, Michael? It doesn't make sense. How do you guys do this? He'll wage war on Catholic organizations like the Little Sisters of the Poor, which we defend, ban charter schools, bankrupt Catholic schools. We help the Catholic Church very much with our schools. We help fund their schools. Fund extreme late-term abortion and empower the socialists. That's what they're doing. That's why we're going to win a record share of the Hispanic vote this November. So, please, right? I got our vote. Thank you, darling. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we are finishing the wall. The wall is going to be very close to being finished. Their new deal is this. Well, I got to tell you real fast. So their new deal is this. He didn't build much wall. You ever see this? They said I renovate. You got a pipe that's been laying in the sand for 30 years, a little pipe, and they call that and then we're building this 30-foot wall. And I thought it would be all concrete, and I wish it was because it's cheaper. But the Border Patrol wanted it to be slats. They have to be able to see through it, which makes sense. I said, it's more expensive. So there's two things. Now they said, he didn't build a concrete wall. That's right. I built steel, and inside the steel is concrete, and inside the concrete is very powerful rebar, and inside that we have wires. I would have much rather built a concrete plank wall. But you know what? I built what they wanted. I don't want to, because they wouldn't be able to see through it. So if they can't see through it, no good. So here's their new deal. They got pipe laying down. They got some wooden fence that's like 2 feet. Anything that there's any, if they ever had anything there, they call it a renovation. So now they say they did this vicious story that we only built a small number of miles. We're up to almost 400 miles. But we had to rip out. We ripped out almost nothing, but basically they had some areas like where they keep people from walking. They had some little wooden stuff that was all rotted and no good, and anything that had anything on it. So they call it a renovation. This is not. We ripped everything out. We went down 7 feet for tunneling, and we went up 30 feet. And they say, this is a renovation. They do anything, the fake news, to demean you. Anything. It's a disgrace. Anyway, we're up to almost 400. Where is Jared? Is he here, by the way? I'd love to introduce him. He did such a great job on Middle East peace. You see what we're doing there? Middle East peace? Where is he? Oh, Jared. He doesn't want any acclaim. He's just a very smart guy. You don't hire guys like this. Well, wherever. He's back working on Middle East peace, probably. He said, I've heard this guy before. I don't have to hear him. But it's amazing what we've done in the Middle East. And we did the exact opposite, the way they've been doing it for 50 years with blood all over the place. No blood in the sand, right? Joe Biden's party continues to attack our incredible border agents, more than half of whom are Hispanic American, by the way. And they're extraordinary. These extraordinary patriots deserve our admiration, our gratitude, and respect. right? They have. What? Oh, my man, come here. Jared, how's the Middle East coming along, please? Coming along good? You know, we signed the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed, one of the most respected warriors in the Middle East, and Bahrain. And we have other countries lined up. Even the New York Times said it's incredible. I can't believe it. I said, no way. I'm sure that person was fired. No, it was Tom Friedman. They're not going to fire him. But they said it was incredible. But this guy's done a great job. And you know the nice thing? He wants no acclaim. He just wants to do what he wants to do. And you know, also worked on Israel, the capital, Jerusalem, right? With our embassy. Great job, Jared. And he has no weight problem, that I can tell you. You're so skinny. How do you stay so skinny, Jared? Biden vowed to terminate our travel bans on jihadist regions and surge refugee admissions by 700%. He wants to let them come in. And I want to pay our respects to President Macron of France, because you saw what happened over there yesterday. What a horrible thing. Radical Islamic terrorism. Thank you. And I tell you, I saw a lot of signs. We're working on some things that you're going to be. I saw a lot of signs, especially in California. You know that where there's Armenians. Right? No, they're good people. They're great business people too, you know. For the Hispanic American, the Armenians, great business people. That's great. No, we're working. Where I just left, there were so many Armenians with a beautiful flag. And no, we're working on some things. I'm keeping terrorists. You have great spirit in your country. I have to tell you, people from Armenia, they have great spirit for their country. Thank you very much. But I'm keeping terrorists, extremists, and criminals out of our country. We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military. We have the greatest equipment. We're the envy of the world. We have the greatest fighters, the greatest rockets and missiles. We have the greatest of everything. We passed VA choice and VA accountability for our great vets. 91% approval rating. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. They were looking for him for years. We wiped out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. We took out the caliphate. And we killed the #1 terrorist and mass murderer anywhere in the world. American troops, many people. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. My first call, if and when we win, have to be, you know. We're going against a party. If and when, but hopefully we do. My first call will be from Iran. Their economy is a disaster. They're down GDP 27%. I've never even heard of that. They're down 27%. It's a disaster. They will call, and I don't want that to happen. I want them to have a great country, but they can't have nuclear weapons. It's very simple. They can't have nuclear weapons. And I think the first call we get will be from them, and they'll sit down and want to make a deal. We'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did, he's... Oh, that's right, we're in Carson City, I forgot. Who said that? Who was the one that said it? Stand up, let me see. That's pretty cool. I recognize the true capital of Israel, as we said. And that was something that was really... by the way, you know, when we did that and opened the American Embassy in Jerusalem, I got it built for a tiny fraction of the cost. I won't go into that story, but got it built. But when I did that, every president that ran, for many of the presidents that ran, many years, decades, and they all said they're going to do it. And then they got into office, they couldn't pull the trigger, right? They couldn't pull it. They couldn't pull it like somebody couldn't pull the trigger on that last little putt to win the match. They couldn't pull the trigger. And then other guys can pull the trigger and they sink it. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they've been trying to get it. I got it done in 2 hours. And I did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe Biden did in 47 years. True. The Democrats are now pushing the most far-left agenda ever put forward by a party or a presidential nominee. Biden doesn't understand it, so I won't bother with that. He still doesn't know what the hell's happening. The Biden plan would destroy Social Security and destroy protections for pre-existing conditions. Biden's running mate, they want to have socialized medicine. So, you forget about your 180 million plans that we have in this country that people absolutely love. They want to have socialized medicine. You go to the hospital, you don't feel good. You wait at a hospital for about 3 weeks. Biden's running mate sponsored a bill to outlaw private health insurance. They want to wipe out the 180 million plans. Biden and Harris will also shut down American energy and obliterate your jobs with the socialist Green New Deal, as I said. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. A vote for Republicans is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for me. It's a vote for the American dream. We'll bring it back. Thank you. Thank you. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. Carson City, get ready, but this whole state, get ready. And we will end our reliance on China once and for all. It's already started. We will hire more police. We love our police. Thank you to our police and our law enforcement. Our great firemen and women, we love them, and we really do. We have a lot of great support from the firemen and women. Increased penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. The people don't even want the sanctuary cities. Only the politicians like them. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right. Second Amendment. In charge of taking your guns away, Beto. Remember when he was on the cover of that stupid Vanity Fair, which is, I think it's dead. I think it died. But he was on the cover, and remember what he said? He was doing okay, not great. But they had him on the cover. They were trying to build him up. It didn't work out too well for him. Remember what he said? He said, I was born to run for president. Once I said that, I said, he's gone. That's the end of him. Anybody said I was born to do this? He is a sick person. What a sick puppy that is. But he was put in charge by Biden to take your guns away. I don't think he's going to do too well in Carson City. Beto's coming to take your gun. I don't want to start anything. I want you to obey the law because I have to, They'll say he's going to start a rebellion. The fact is that Beto wants your guns taken away. Biden doesn't even know what the hell it means. And I'm going to always protect your Second Amendment. By the way, your Second Amendment is under siege. Nothing has happened, right? Nothing has happened. And there's been a lot of pressure on me on your Second Amendment. Nothing. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep out all of those. We will just stay out of all of those horrible, endless wars with places you've never heard of. 19 years in Afghanistan. I think that's enough. And we're acting as basically law enforcement. We're acting as police. Now they got to do it themselves. We're bringing our people back home. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might. And we have a military might like nobody's ever had before with our new everything. All made in the USA. And we will ensure peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing. Require price And you know what price transparency is, by the way? It's the biggest. Adam knows, Michael knows. It's the biggest thing there is. It's bigger than healthcare, in my opinion, and it's all done. It's signed. Price transparency. Watch. Further reduce the cost of prescription drugs. You know what I did? Favored nations. Nobody can believe I did it. You're going to pay the lowest price in the world, and we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag, NFL. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great state of Nevada. So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your co-workers, get your boss. Tell your boss, come here, boss. Got a vote? Got a vote, boss? Come on, boss. Just grab him and just say, come on, boss. Get out and vote. This is the most important election we've ever had. Get out and vote. They call it the red wave. They're already saying they're not happy about what's happening. They know what's happening. From Las Vegas to Reno, from Elko to Henderson, and from Carlin to right here in the wonderful, beautiful, hard-working Carson City. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty. And we just love our liberty, don't we? And you know, liberty and freedom with bad leadership can be extinguished very quickly. You look at what happened in Venezuela and so many other places. We're just a much, much bigger version. And if we let them do this, you're not going to have it for very long. It's a very sad thing. Most important election we've ever had. Nevada was founded by some of the toughest men and strongest women ever to walk the face of the earth. This state was built by pioneers and prospectors, miners and cowboys, innovators and trailblazers, who tamed the frontier, raised up the mighty Hoover Dam, transformed a sprawling but beautiful desert into a shining oasis, and lit up the brilliant lights of the Las Vegas Strip, which I know so well. Our American ancestors made this into the greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. It's happening. The best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you helped build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We're returning power to you, the American people. So with your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Nevada, we have made America powerful again. We have made America wealthy again. Our stock market, new highs. Your 401ks are doing very well. I don't think you want to see them drop 100%, and they will if Sleepy Joe gets in. We've made it wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Get out and vote. Thank you. Thank you very much.
President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, wrapping up in Carson City, Nevada. This was a huge rally. We hope you enjoyed it. We thank you for tuning in to Right Side to watch this. Once again, we destroyed the fake news and the view counts. And listen, we are going to be so busy. God bless this president. He is working so hard for America. He is going to be so busy over the next 2.5 weeks to make sure that America wins. It is so important that everybody is doing something to help save the country from being taken over by far left radicals. We have to all do everything we can. It is very tough for us here at RSBN to continue to go to all of these. I mean, I'm on so little sleep. The crew is exhausted, but we're going to continue on, and we're going to pursue, and we're going to bring you every single one of these. It is such a pleasure to be here with you. I'm Joe Sills from the RSBN studio in Auburn. We're going to go back to our great crew. We have a great crew today, a full crew in Carson City. We have Magnificent, obviously, you all know him. We have our newest correspondent, Brian Glenn, who's doing an amazing job as well. And we have Lilith Venetsian, who is just a superstar. And we appreciate all of you and all your support. We have a lot of these things coming up. We're going to be in Arizona tomorrow. That's the first thing I'll say. Subscribe to us if you're not already. Hit the red subscribe button, because we are going to be busy over the next 2.5 weeks. We'll be at every single one. So if you want to see more like this, please subscribe to us and support us. If you want to support us and help us get to these rallies, we are viewer supported, but we go out and we fight for you every single night, and we take on the mainstream media because we believe you're smart enough to decide for yourself what you believe. So if you want to continue seeing this, please support our mission at rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, we'll be in Arizona tomorrow. The first one is in Prescott in the morning. We've got our crew down there. Brick Suit is guest hosting tomorrow in Prescott, along with Tom O'Neill, and then Liz Willis for the nightcapper tomorrow in Tucson. And then we'll head back east to Erie, Pennsylvania, Gastonia, North Carolina, and many more are coming. So we're going to be busy. So stand by. Our great crew will be here soon. I appreciate you all, and God bless. Good night.
Hey everyone, that was pretty cool. I'm not sure what's all going on as far as protests and stuff like that, but if you guys would take a second to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, that way you'll be notified every time we go live. We go live every single day. I'm going to see if there's protests and what else is going on, but we're going to shut this live feed down just to keep it, about the president and whatnot. Thank you guys so much for all the donations, everyone that joined the membership program. I think I'm going to change the title membership to Hooligan so you can become a official Hooligan. I might do that before we go live again. Let me know what you think about that really quick in the chat. But big shout out to everyone that's been making donations and joining the membership program. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are why I'm able to do this every day. Thank you so much. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to let this play a little bit, let you guys chat it up and whatnot, but I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to see what else is going on, and we'll probably go live in a little bit. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the bell icon. Otherwise, you may not get the notification and you don't want to miss it. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to Muffin. Meow. You guys think I'm a government clone? The government showed up and replaced me and put a shirt on me? Wow, Andrew, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you. Just big shout out to you. You're awesome. All right, everyone, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to see what all is going on as far as protests or really anything that looks active and entertaining. I'll see what's going on out there. Make sure you guys all like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, otherwise you may not get notified when we go live. As long as I can find something, we're going to go live here probably in a couple minutes. Otherwise, we'll be going live tomorrow. I really appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all the donations. Big shout out to Andrew. Thank you so much. That was such a generous donation. I really appreciate all of you, everyone that joined the membership program. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you for being here. Hit the button really quick, and we're going to shut it down.
What the fuck he